Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ostomies and Earrings with me, Sarah. Happy Saturday night, January 24th. I hope y'all are having a wonderful weekend. I am. If you haven't yet subscribed to my sister channel, please do. Tea and Tuckins, not nightly check-in. It's like a couple times a week. I make a little tea and tuck-ins, most of the time in pajamas or a robe, with some kind of hot beverage, just talking about our day. Those are usually no more than 20 minutes max. But yes, you can see I am in my room. There's strawberry shortcake back there and the painting for my kids. I am going to start venturing out. I have done a couple videos outside. I believe I've done one in my car, but I'm going to start venturing out different places in nature and things, stores. I may do like start doing like store walk-ins where I show you new merchandise, say from the Dollar Tree or something like that. There's kind of all kind of things I'm thinking about getting into tonight, or for this beautiful channel. I want to thank you all for the ones that are sticking with me. I've got 12 subscribers last time I checked on this channel, and I just really appreciate y'all sticking with me. I don't know how far this is going to go, but I'm really enjoying it. It's very therapeutic for me to do this. So yeah, I hope y'all are enjoying it as well. And I will try to make it as entertaining as I can for you, and hopefully you'll like it. I wore my hair down tonight just so I could show you guys, because I think I've only done one video with my hair down. I just want to show you how long my hair is getting. It's crazy. I went for 10 years, probably, or 10 years or more, and never, like, I had a pixie for years. And honestly, if my hair wasn't healthy, it would be short. But for some reason, after I got sick and came out and got off the pain meds, it's like my whole system just reset and my hair started growing so thick and beautiful, and I love it. It's a lot of work. Like, I really don't know how to style my hair. Hence the clip, hence the 80s look. Because the 80s look, this is kind of what we did, and that's kind of what I know. But that's okay, because I love the 80s and I wish it would come back. So maybe I can start a trend. I don't know. Anyway, it is ostomies and earrings. So now that I've showed you how long my hair is, I'm probably going to keep it long. My mom, she'll trim it for me every now and then, because it does gets a little bit of split ends, even though I condition it good. But I'll probably keep it long. Um, I don't know, maybe till I'm 55, 60. Maybe I'll decide then, it's a little too much, or maybe cut it. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But anyway, enough about my hair. I'm going to put it up now so you guys can see my earrings, because it's ostomies, which we're going to talk about, and earrings. So I'm just going to clippy do up. Clippy, clippy do. This is the hairstyle I have 90% of the time. My glasses, okay. So let me show you one of the Valentine earrings. All the Valentine earrings that I've made are pretty similar. They might have a bead or two difference. But this is what I made for me. It's got the purple bow. It's got kind of the little hearts on there. Like the candies that you have at Valentine's. And of course this little glitter ball that I just love. So I made a bunch of these. My coworkers, for the ladies bingo. So yes, I just love it. I just love it. I just got a few more jewelry pieces for Valentine's. I got to make a pair of clip-ons. One of the ladies at my job, she doesn't have holes in her ears, one of the residents. So I'm going to make her a pair of clip-ons. I do clip-ons as well. But yes, I'll be wearing these throughout the whole month of February. I just love them. Well, the topic for tonight's video, when I first started this channel, I came on with a video to explain why my channel is called Ostomies and Earrings. That was one of the first videos I did. Somehow it got deleted. Something went on with my computer, which I still have to look at. I've been recording on my phone. I'm hoping tomorrow I will have some free time in the afternoon to kind of look at my computer, because I like doing it on my computer more because you could see more to me. Of course, the phone is good for on-the-go videos, but I would like to look at and see. Maybe I just have to take some storage off or something, so we can start going on the computer again. But I made a video because I wanted to explain who I am and that why I call it Ostomies and Earrings. So some of you know, most of you that are friends or family with me, you know that I'm an ostomite. And the reason why I wanted to come out and call my channel Ostomies and Earrings is so people like me, ostomites, not just people like me, everybody can. I appreciate all you guys so much. But so people with ostomies can maybe come on so we can have a forum and talk, and so they feel comfortable coming in. Because when I became an ostomite, it kind of threw me for a whirl, It just, I didn't never meet nobody. Even working in the medical field, I had never really met nobody like that. But yes, I'm an ostomite. I have been an ostomite for about 4 years now. I didn't intend, and I don't think the doctors intended on me being an ostomite this long. They had to do it with my particular medical situation. Basically, I got diagnosed with diverticulitis. I didn't know it. And my case of diverticulitis had went on too long undiagnosed because I didn't have any symptoms. The only symptoms I had was like 3 days prior. I was sick with pain on my left side. Couldn't go to work. I was so dead dog sick. And people can tell you I never miss work. Unless I got to be dead dog sick to miss work. And I had to go to the doctor. So I couldn't drive. I was so weak too. And I fell. My husband had to pick me up one time. But the boss I had at the time came out and she took me to the emergency room. After 3 days of work, you have to get a note. And all I remember is passing out. I guess I passed out in the ambulance because they did rush surgery on me. The only thing I remember at the emergency room, she said, "Do you know you have diverticulitis?" Well, it comes to find out about, and if I post on here not for children, and it's not because of anything bad. It's because some of the things I say on here are kind of gross, and this is one of them. So that's why it won't be posted for children. But most of us are all adults and we can handle it, hopefully. But they basically had to cut out a good sized piece of my large intestines. That was perforated. It was no good. But that's what caused me to be septic. And I had a cyst in my ovarian. So that all happened to me. I was one sick chick. And I was fully septic. They basically had to do a whole washout. And they thought it was necessary, life or death, to reverse me. So basically, an ostomite is a person that does not go number 2 the normal way that God intended. We have a small, usually in our abdomen, tummy area. Mine's like on the left. I think some people have it on the right. But mine is a retracted ostomy, which means it does not, any part of the large intestine does not come out. So for me, it's just flat, basically. She's a little sore today. I call her Arlene. You really have to take care of yourself. And I didn't really know anything about it. I had heard, just work in the medical field, but never known somebody, really, never thought it would ever happen to me. But I'm glad they did it because I'm alive. My son had to sign 2 waivers because I wasn't married to my husband at the time. And it saved my life. They told me, "Ma'am," because I woke up off of I think it was 12 days. I was on a ventilator. I was not near death sore. And I looked down. I said, oh, what happened? He said, "We had to do it." and I was on oxygen, and I was in the ICU for like a month, almost a month. Yeah, 3.5, 4 weeks. And in the hospital for a month. I lost 65 pounds. It was because I couldn't eat. They had me on the usual fluids and broth and thing. And I just, even when I was able to eat, I didn't want to eat. Just, I mean, high as a kite, pain meds, coming in, changing the dressing because I had to be on a wound vac for about a month and a half. And I would come in and they would just work on me, bandage me. I mean, the gap was huge. It looked like you almost fit a football. That's how big it was. And they honestly they did what they could do. They did what they could do. Like I say, it was rush surgery and it saved my life. It saved my life. And even though, nobody wants to really be this way, I'm thankful to be alive. And I'm thankful for those doctors and nurses that kept me alive and my son keeping me alive. He said, do whatever you got to do to save her. And that's what they did. So I'm happy about that. Like I said, never intended on this long. Learn to live this way. If I lose the weight that I need to use, which is a huge goal for me, I can have it reversed. At this point, I've been this way so long, it's almost like my normality. And I know that sounds crazy. People are like, how can she ever think that's normal? But you'd be surprised what you can get used to and live with when you have no choice. But there's a lot of people, I'm not the only one, there's a lot of people that live this way. We strive, try to get Social Security, I guess because my age, they turn me down, so nothing stops me. I bring my supplies to work. I did talk about being an osteomite a little bit in the car video with that dear sweet lady. So you'll probably see that on there. But yeah, I just want to do a recap video because it got deleted on why I call my channel Ostomies and Earrings. That's why, because I'm an osteomite. But yeah, it really doesn't affect my everyday life. She's a little sore right now. That's the only thing about the particular bags I use. I use disposables. I don't use the drain kind of bags. I just don't like them. And I probably should, but I just don't like them. So that being said, there's a price to pay when you're using the disposables all the time. Because the adhesive is not your friend. The adhesive is not your friend when it's on and off and on. Like right now, we went to that Captain D's today, and I tell you it was delicious, but I don't know if it was coffee I had before. Something did not clean right, and ostomies and diarrhea do not mix. I got the runs off, and I know it's graphic. I'm sorry. But I just want to be honest with you. I told you I'm all about being honest. And when you have that, it does not mix. So you have to know how to take care of yourself. Like I say, even though I was a CNA and worked in the medical field for years, when it happens to you, it's a whole new ball game because you're the one that has to live with it and deal with it every day. When I got out of the hospital, I stayed at my mother's. My husband doesn't drive, so he had to stay at his mom's, and she helped us going back and forth. And I stayed at my mom's and had therapy at her house. And I started to go through a little depression because I thought, well, gosh, I'm never going to be the same again. I'm never going to look the same again. And I got up and I said, nope. Because I started watching YouTube videos of young kids that were born this way or young people. And there's more and more awareness coming out about ostomies. That's why I'm doing this. Ostomies and earrings. Because it's like any other disability. People don't want to talk about it. They're scared. Ooh, But it's real. It exists. And if I can help somebody, come together. I've seen things, a bunch of people, they have the cruises they go on, because we are a separate kind of people, just like anybody with another kind of disability, they understand each other. Because you can't really know what it's like till you do it. You go through it till you are like that, like this. But yes, doesn't really stop me from living. You do have to have down days sometimes. Like you have to know how to bandage it. Because when it's sore, you cannot wear one like that. It will crawl off every time. So looking back, I said I want to try to help people a little bit and have a forum for people like me. If I was younger, I'd probably go back to school and be an ostomy nurse. But at my age, I don't want to go back to school. I mean, I probably could, but I don't know. I'm 50. I mean, that's young. I know that's still young, but I would like to help people. Sometimes I see a resident, that's an ostomite, like me. Sometimes I tell them, hey, I'm like you. Can I help you? There was a lady at work the other day. I think she felt kind of self-conscious because when I come in to help her, because we answer the call lights, anybody, even if you're not the floor CNA, you answer. She needed help changing it, hers. And I just said, I think she felt a little embarrassed or something. I said, don't be embarrassed because I'm one too, baby. I'm one too. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We have to love ourselves. And no, I never expected to be like this. And yes, I look different. But my husband loves me for who I am. In fact, he proposed marriage to me after this happened to me. We were together 12 years. And he proposed to me when I was in a hospital gown at my mama's house. In a hospital gown with no makeup, looking like hell. Heck, I'm sorry. Looking like heck. So that's how I knew, okay, this man is definitely, I already knew because I was in 12 years. I bought a home with him. I bought a home with him before we got married. I knew that this man is good. But yes. It doesn't stop me from my daily life. My job was so good to me. They hired me back because they couldn't hold my job. But they hired me back as a weekend receptionist because I was trying to get Social Security and just work 20 hours at that point that you can work. But when I didn't get it, the position came and my boss, wonderful friend, forever life friend, she said, I need somebody. And she hired me back. They hired me back. So yes, I am grateful for that. Very grateful. But just, living the best life you can when these things happen to us. And it can happen to anybody. I tell everybody, please don't ignore your gut health. Because I didn't really know about gut health. I mean, yeah, Greek yogurt good for the gut, but I didn't take it seriously. And diverticulitis, and the other one, it's getting more common with people. I believe they said over 35. People don't even know they have it. One of my friends, her brother had got it, but he caught it in time. And I think he was able to get to the hospital, get on antibiotics or something. But for me, it was just too far gone. It was already, my large intestines was already perforated, no good, caused me to be septic, do the full washout on me. And I guess I'm as clean as a whistle now. But yeah, it was crazy. Did the therapy, and like I said, I started to get depressed, and I pulled myself out of it because I said, how can I go to work, because I'm a coda, and, tell people, and activities, you got to get out of bed if I'm not willing to do it myself. So that was part of my motivation too. I said, quit feeling sorry for yourself. You're going to get through this. And I pushed, and my nephew come with me and went walking with me around the block, and I did a little bit more, and the young lady came, make sure I could take showers okay, and had to wear skirts for a while. Like I said, I had the wound vac, beep, 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 beep in the middle of the night, you're trying to sleep, and that thing go off, and you don't know how to shut it off. You're calling the people, I can't get this thing off. But I had some great nurses that did the wound care that come and cared for me. One of them I had worked with, and he was my favorite. But there was another lady that came, and she was so sweet. And she had told me, she said, you're never going to have a belly button again, because it was, the surgery's right here and you're open when they had to open. Okay. And I said, I got it. It's just over. I got it. You just can't see it, but I can see it. It's right there. So I felt good because I still had it. But I don't mean to be too TMI, too much information or whatever. Is it TMI? What, I don't know all these symbols the young folks say these days. But, I just want to be honest with y'all. And that's why I don't let the kids watch these videos. Because it is, some of it's gross content. But it's real content. It's medical content. And hopefully it'll help somebody. But that is why ostomies and earrings. One of my friends said, Sarah, why in the world did you name it that? Well, that's why. I want to reach out to people. I want them to feel comfortable. I want people to know right off the bat who I am. I'm not ashamed of who I am. No way. And I just want people to feel comfortable and reach out to them. Because a lot of people, my therapy lady, was it therapy lady or the nurse, told me there was a woman that went through exactly the same thing as I did, and she gave up on life. I think she was actually in her 30s or something, and she stopped living, and yeah, she's yeah. So I said to myself, you're either going to get busy living, Sarah, or you're going to get busy dying. And I wanted to live. And I want to live. Yes. So am I going to have the reversal? If I can get down, I have to get down to 200 pounds. The doctor will not touch me until then. Because it's obesity. Let's be honest. I'm obese. And obesity is a factor on the operating table. Just like diabetes is. God, what else? Other factors. Kind of scared to have it. Because any kind of surgery is a risk. Even Shan's, I love him. Took care of me. I know I would be in good hands. But for me, with my particular life situation, it's just not worth it. I could live the rest of my life this way. Yeah, I could. Now, if I was younger, 20s or 30s, I don't honestly know. I don't know if I could. But there's more and more awareness coming out. Younger people and just people in general, all ages, they are going to the beach, like with their thing. Now, I personally, that's not for me, but I commend them on that, being brave like that. And I'm never going to do that, but that's just my choice. I have a personal pool, but I mean, there's no stigma behind it. There's nothing to be scared of. You learn like what products are good for you. And the particular products that I wish I had one to show you what's down there, I get from Amazon, and they do not come off even in water. They do not come off. I have swam in my pool like for 3-4 hours, and nothing gets out that sucker. When you learn what things are good for you, I've used other ones. I've used like even the great name brand names, and this one I use is just an off brand, and it works better than like some of the other brands. But I do have I try to keep backups of the ones that you don't drain, just because you never know when you might run out. Luckily, I work in the medical field. If I had an emergency, but I always have them with me. I'm trying to get my insurance to help me pay for them. But I kind of think of it like any other thing that you would have to have, like briefs, something like that. Because sometimes I have to buy like medical tape. I have to buy like bandages, you know. But yeah, it's a big change in life. But I've adjusted well, I think. Like I say, you never know what you can live with until you got no choice. I don't know if it's the equivalent of somebody maybe realizing they have to be in a wheelchair the rest of their life, or I don't know if it's that far gone, but maybe any other disability, because I guess it's a disability, I wasn't born this way. But hey, what is that thing from Forrest Gump? Life's like a box of chocolates. You don't ever know what you're going to get. And it's so true. It is so true. I never expected this to happen to me. But you know what? It did. You have to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You got to count your blessings because it can always be worse. I could have not made it because they told me. There was a couple things the surgeon said to me. She was a great surgeon. She said, Miss Vessel, because I wasn't Patterson at the time. She said, honey, she said, I had a time with you. She said, you was a challenge. And she said, honey, she said, if you hadn't come in when you did that day, she said, I really don't know if you would have made it. So God wants me here for a purpose. And why not help people? I like to help people. People have helped me. And that's just what we're here for, y'all. That's what we're here for. That's what life's all about. And talk about help. Like I said, his mom, she drove him back and forth to work. She would come out here, help. Gosh, my mom, of course I stayed with her and Aaron. Aaron would put my feet in the bed because I couldn't lift my feet. And, he had to go for walks. Aaron, my nephew, my brother. That's my brother. He's my nephew, but he's like my baby brother. Just great. And my friend, I told you about her already, my boss, she come and bathed me. The lady that picked me up, the other co-worker, she come and fed my chickens and watered them for me. And just the outreach and love. They set up a GoFundMe to help with bills because, of course, I couldn't work. My husband was working the whole time. We paid what we could. We had just bought our home. Couldn't live in it. Had animals and stuff. But, yeah, we just stuck together. The kids helped. Like, everybody helped. And looking back on it, I said, Sarah, you're really crazy because I was in that hospital on gabapentin and Oxycontin. High as a kite. I told them, do not give me this fentanyl no more. Because I swear, y'all, I saw Scooby-Doo and Hulk, what's that one, the wrestler, coming out the side of the wall. I said, what do y'all give me for pain? I said, please don't give me no more of it. I said, I'm seeing Scooby-Doo and all the characters. Saw He-Man and everybody coming out the wall. Jesus, no. So they took me off that, and I was still gabapentin and Oxy. I was just like, oh my God, seeing things. But I was paying bills from my cell phone. I was a cat in the hospital paying bills, ordering groceries to go, like crazy. Online. I was like, I'm not thinking about how did I do that? But yes, that's my goal. Because even if I never have the reversal, I still need to lose weight, y'all. Because as you know, weight is a lot of factors. And I'm not no spring chicken. But yes, I'm going to try to get this off this year, at least part of it off. And to see. But yes, I can live my way. And I'm willing to live this way the rest of my life. Because people love me and accept me for who I am. And I've accepted myself for who I am. That's the biggest thing, is you have to love yourself. But yes, please don't put out for your gut health. Think of that as any other important health thing and get tested for it. I don't know if you can get tested for diverticulitis, maybe when they do the checks and things. I'm going to have another colonoscopy because I need to have all this checked inside, and I'm not looking forward to it, but I got to do it. And, yeah, especially like this, you have to stay up on it. So, yeah, get checked out. They're probably going to say, how are you living this way this long? But yeah, definitely need to make an appointment to see the surgery specialist. But yes, you whatever life throws your way, just push through. It makes you stronger. Talk to people. That's what I'm here for. If anybody, you're an Austinite and you need somebody to talk to or reach out to, please do. You're not alone. There's lots of us out there. We can have a full life. Um, absolutely. So I just wanted to come on explain because that other video had got deleted. Why? It's ostomies and earrings. Hopefully that explains a little bit. When I do these videos, sometimes the topics are random. I just kind of think of it. I was going through, I'm like, oh, it got deleted. Let me go in there and explain again everything that happened. Because I didn't plan on having to do it, explain again, but since I always told y'all, I want to be real with y'all, be transparent about who I am. But I just living my best life. I've had a lot of death. We've had a lot in our family. So that pushes me too. It really does. Not just for me, for my loved ones. Because, when I was in the hospital, I got dependent on the oxygen, and they said, look, you want to go home, you got to get out. And I had to learn to go back to breathing normal without, because I'm like, where is it? And I, no, you're going to breathe on your own today. And I did. And they were praying over me. Yes, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for life. Thank you for life. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope that explains a little bit. Hopefully you like the Valentine earrings. I know I do. Hopefully the residents like them this weekend at the bingo. And I'm sorry if it was too much information. Forgive me. Put it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, that's why I just put it on here just for the adults. Because I know some of it's kind of grotesque a little bit, But anyway, it is what it is. But God bless y'all. Have a good weekend. Until we meet again, remember that I love you just the way you are. Austin might or not. But most of all, Jesus loves you even more. And I just want to say a quick prayer. We have a storm coming in before we go tonight. God, please help the people. Please help them. From Georgia all the way up with this winter storm. Keep them safe. Keep the animals safe outside. Give people the common sense to bring their animals in. Give them common sense to stay off the roads if they don't have to, Jesus. Keep them all safe. Pray for all of them. Let the power be restored. In Jesus' holy name. Amen. Talk to you soon.